Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Igwe Lawrence is my name. Today, I am bringing you land titles in Japan and how you can purchase property in Japan without any stress or being scammed. But before we start, please do like our video and please subscribe. And if you have any comments on any land issue globally, you have question on, ask it quickly, then we can do a video on it because we are connected throughout the entire world as regards land matter. Now, straight to the issue, the land titles in Japan. There are basically two land titles in Japan, and that is freehold and leasehold. Freehold is called shoyuken, and the leasehold is called chakuchiken. It's not chicken as you think, it's Japanese word. So these are basic land titles in Japan. Now, one important thing you have to note, which is a peculiarity with Japan, is that land and the property in it are not the same. They are two legal entities. What I mean is that if you buy any property, let's say you pay for 20-story building in Japan, yes, so you own they will issue freehold on it, but the land itself, where that building is, it's not your land though. If you want to buy it, that's a different deal altogether. What it means is that while you are holding freehold on the property on your land, definitely what you are holding on it is a leasehold as regards the land itself. In fact, the owner of the land can use it to go to the bank to take loan or a mortgage. Okay? But he cannot use the property there. And if you want to use your property to take loan or to mortgage or as collateral security, it will be only limited to the value of the property, not including land. Bear in mind of this and don't let anybody deceive you. The land is treated, the land itself is different and the property is different. I don't know any other country that does like that, but right now, Japan is the one that's doing it. Okay, now the next thing we do is, it is what they call the civil code that governs land operations in Japan. Basically, what the civil code does is that it concerns itself with ownership of land, joint ownership, transfers, joint ownership, registration. But the real estate real estate act govern the process of selling the land itself. Okay, it govern the process of selling the land itself, also which include the registration. That's the law. I'm talking of the law now. These are the two governing laws. The one governs how the operational law in Japan. The other one, the process of selling the property. But the real people handling the land transaction in Japan is Legal Affairs Bureau, also called the registry. They are the one that records everything. They are the one that also issue the documents, the deeds and the titles. They are the one. So take note of that. Also take note that if it is agricultural land you are buying, you need government permission in order to buy it. Assuming you want to do farming in Japan, you need government permit because they are special. It's not like normal property. So apart from negotiating with the owner of the land for agriculture, you still need government permit in order to do so. Okay, take note of that. These are the basic issues as concern land. Now let's go to the procedure of buying. The procedure of buying are divided into two. Not actually divided into two. What I mean is that for foreigners who are resident in Japan and for foreigners who are not resident in Japan, there is no restriction as regards land purchase in Japan, either you are resident or non-resident. However, there are documents you have to note. For those that are living in Japan, that are resident in Japan with any kind of visa, they need resident certificate, resident card, specialized seal certificate, and also need notarized signature, notarized legal signature. The lawyer have to sign the signature, or proof of employment or income before you can proceed with anything you are doing on land purchase. If you are a foreigner, of course, they require proof of residence, proof of in your country, proof of identity, who you are. And if they are not satisfied, they may issue forms for you to fill to solicit more information, and please solicit correct information, because they are going to verify it. So, but once this information goes through and are correct, then you're ready. The next stage is to talk about how do I get the land. And there are only two, how do you search the property search itself, how to get it. There are only two ways. If you are non-resident, or even if you are resident, even if you are resident, is to go to their website, major website that they call Expertise, or you are through your estate agent. The estate agent, if you now search and hunt for property, if he gets a property, then the next thing is for you, if you are non-resident, for you to make formal, even if you are resident, you make formal offer. Unlike Nigeria here, where the owner of the house, land, is the one that's saying, this is how much I'm saying. They don't do like that in Japan. It's you that will make an offer. If the offer is acceptable to this land seller, then the deal has started. So you make a formal offer in writing, either through your agent or through your notary, lawyer. And if the offer is accepted, it is general practice in Japan for you to pay 5 to 10% of the cost, the purchase price. Okay? Let me go back to the offer. If you are a resident and want to use Japanese mortgage, you have to get the approval of the mortgage company before you make your offer. If you're a foreigner and wish to do so, you also need to get approval of the mortgage company. But basically, most foreigners pay with their money because it may be difficult for you to access Japanese mortgage. Once this is done and you are paid the 10%, then you move to the lawyer and for the sign of the sale agreement. Once this is done, and then you move straight to issue of transfer of ownership at Legal Affairs Bureau. Once that is done, the transaction is not over yet. Then you now have to present proof of payment that you are paid for the full that property. Also pay for legal fee. You have to present proof that you paid the lawyer, paid the estate agent, the estate company. If you have done all this, then the lawyer moves straight to still the same land legal affairs bureau or registry to formalize your document. Because note that if you make all these payments and have all the proof, and even the owner, let's even say for any reason they are giving you key, and without registering at the land affairs, legal affairs bureau, your transaction is invalid. In fact, it's not going anywhere, it's not flying. However, it may not even be, they don't need, because before they even shoot the title, because that the original owner have freehold title on it. You, if he sell that property to you, you still have to have the shoe a title to you by them. What do they call it? The Legal Affairs Bureau have to issue your own title to you. Then invalidate the one, if the transaction has gone through, invalidate the one the original owner have. Do you understand? So whatever you start must end with Legal Affairs Bureau. Okay? Now, if you have done all this and your document is issued, then the owner of the property hands over the key. But don't forget, it's the key to the property, not the land. If you want to buy the land and the man is willing to sell, or the person is willing to sell, then you have to pay for the land separately. It is hard for you to see anyone who will sell the land and property to you in Japan. Now, having done this, I have a schedule. Let me check the schedule. We are dealt with legal, we are dealt with, and if for property, for, what do they call it? For estate agents, Xylos, Xylos Group International, at the moment does not have office in Japan, but I can recommend a lawyer for you. I've said that before. Now, does this you don't need visa to buy any property as non-resident, but does this purchase of property, so if it's successful, guarantee you visa and residence? The answer is no. If you want a Japanese residence, you have to go and apply for their visa. I hope, distinguished viewers, that this has given you enough intel to know that to move ahead if you are purchasing land in Japan. Thank you. Please don't forget to like our video and to subscribe.